How's it going, guys? Rev here from Res Fitness, covering a really interesting topic today. It's how stress actually affects your results with your health and fitness goals, specifically a reduction in body fat, and perhaps even your performance. So stress, as we all know, is something that occurs daily. It can be something external from, work colleagues or work in general, family life, lifestyle situations, whatever it is going on that causes any sort of tension or stressful situations, causes a raise in a hormone called cortisol, which you probably already know, which is absolutely fine. So we address that. Basically what cortisol does is increases your hunger, increases your appetite for sugary foods or basically, crap that you probably shouldn't be eating. And the reason it sort of does that is our sort of primitive brain is hardwired to go for these sort of comfort foods, because as we get in stressful situations, that hormone rises, cortisol, our insulin level spikes, and then our blood sugar level drops, which makes us feel and go for more of those sugary type foods that boost our blood sugar level really quickly, when we really need to have the discipline to go for those slower absorbing carbs and vegetables and stuff like that to be able to sort of curb that sort of thing, and you actually feel better and more satisfied for longer after having those sort of things. So basically, at the end of the day, I think everyone knows how to address stress, just depending on exactly how you identify, and if you can sit down and actually identify where that sort of stress is coming from. A big and more common sort of occurrence of stress in I think everyone's life at the moment is lack of sleep. Lack of sleep is pretty detrimental to a health and fitness goal. If you're only having 2 to 3 hours sleep for whatever reason, if you've got any sort of medical condition, it's incredibly detrimental, because you're more likely to have these high levels of cortisol, which has this huge flow-on effect to the rest of your day and the way that you eat, and the sort of what would you call it, the sort of issues that you have to deal with in terms of making food choices subliminally or consciously, if that makes sense. So lack of sleep in general usually leaves you feeling pretty run down. Your mornings typically are a little bit slower to sort of get up and get vibe to actually go to training if you're exercising first thing in the morning, and that affects your performance, because obviously you can't put in 100%, therefore you're not getting the most and most efficient exercise session that you possibly could be. On top of that, if you go then and throw a lot of exercise into the mix and you're stressed and you've got lack of sleep, you're doing yourself and your body a huge disservice, a massive disservice. Basically what's happening is you're putting exercise on top of that equation, which is a stressful environment and a stressful time for the body, and then you'll probably wonder why you aren't seeing results, because you've got all of this cortisol, this hormone that basically is bashing your head up against a brick wall, and then adding exercise into the mix, and then lack of sleep, and then external factors or internal factors that are causing you stress. You might be a bit disheartened as to why you aren't seeing the results that you want. There's a lot of things that also happen as a result of that, which can be water retention, just as a fight or flight reflex from the body, among other things. But you can understand just from everything that comes out in research these days with regards to managing stress and anxiety and all that sort of stuff, how that can have such a huge impact on your health and fitness goals and the changes that you want to see within your own body. So it makes a lot of sense, and I'm not saying anything new here, makes a lot of sense to try and manage your stress levels, because everything I've just mentioned is something that you've heard 100 times before, and there's a reason for that. It's because it's something worth addressing, and it has a huge impact on the direction that you want to take and the results that you want to see. So de-stress. More than anything, de-stress. Try and take any perspective that you can, positive affirmation, whatever it needs to be, whatever you find works for you, in order to more or less see the light at the end of the tunnel or see the positive in every situation. It doesn't mean becoming a hugely overly optimistic person. It's being able to take a second, take a step back, and actually settle more than anything. So that's my tip for the day. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a very de-stressful day. Talk to you soon. Bye.